Manningham makes strides in wild deer control. From Manningham Council. Manningham Council's Wild Deer Control Program is helping reduce the negative impact of deer on private properties, bushland, waterways and road safety. Since 2017, Manningham Council has supported residents to manage deer on their properties through our Local Environment Assistance Fund, LEAF. In recent years, this support has been strengthened through funding from the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action, DECA, enabling Council to provide a 100% rebate for eligible Green Wedge residents who engage a professional deer control contractor. Since January 2024, more than 200 sambar deer have been managed in Warrandyte, Warrandyte South, Park Orchards and Wonga Park. Manningham Mayor Deirdre Diamonte commended the program's impact on both local biodiversity and road safety.
Thanks to LEAF, we've been able to make significant headway in controlling the wild deer population and reducing the associated damage to private land and our environment. It's important that we continue this work, and I encourage eligible landowners to take advantage of the support and expertise offered by the LEAF program.
Councillor Diamonte said, "Wild deer cause significant and widespread impacts to both private and public land, including destroying native vegetation, disrupting ecosystems, and threatening agricultural activities. The LEAF program provides residents with access to professional support and expertise, ensuring that deer control is done safely, effectively and responsibly." Manningham Council's deer control efforts on private land are supported by Parks Victoria's work on public land, including its successful expansion of deer control activities across 5 reserves in Warrandyte State Park since July 2024. The DECA grant that helps fund Council's deer control program is set to end in June 2025. Manningham Council is in ongoing discussions with DECA about securing further funding to help support deer control. If you see a deer or notice damage, please report it using the Feral Scan app to help us reduce the impact of wild deer. Data is securely stored in the Feral Scan database and may assist government and biosecurity agencies in planning deer control. You can choose to make your report public or private. For more information about our LEAF program, visit manningham.vic.gov.au/deer-control. Warrandyte Diary researchers have uncovered evidence that the deer problem has been a concern for Warrandyte for a very long time. Weekly Times, Saturday, February 8, 1896, page 21. Deer stalking in Victoria. The village settlers at Warrandyte are labouring under a very substantial grievance, which they have at last brought under the notice of the Premier. Some years ago, it was considered desirable to acclimatise deer in Victoria, and the hilly country on the Upper Yarra, well watered and grassed, was naturally regarded as a suitable locality for them. At that time, however, there were few settlers in the neighbourhood. Since then, not only have the deer increased and multiplied, but the country has become more settled, and the settlers are now complaining bitterly of the deer. These beasts jump fences and wire netting with ease, destroy young fruit trees, and devastate vegetable gardens. Yet they are held as sacred as the bulls in Upper India, although from financial instead of religious views. The penalty for shooting or killing a deer is £15, and as much as the villagers might like a haunch of venison, they naturally regard the cost as too great. The government, however, have lent a kindly ear to the complaints of the settlers and have promised to put a sum upon the estimates to recoup them from their losses. It remains for the Premier to settle with the deer. A stalk in the Hume Ranges would afford a pleasant parliamentary holiday, although it might not result in the slaughter of too many deer. The government has only to remove the protection and issue special licences for deer shooting, and the end will be speedily accomplished.